Alright, John Oakes here with Hagster's Hot Rods here today on our Homer City, Pennsylvania location. And today we're going to go over this new addition to our inventory. It is a 1968 Chevrolet Chevelle. Now ours is done in this blue exterior, and the paint really actually isn't too bad on this car. It's actually a pretty nice looking paint job. Nice, smooth and shiny the whole way around. Of course, all of our bright work, the bumpers, the wheel lip moldings, all of the moldings around all of the windows and so forth, all of that is in really good shape, as we'll see as we walk around the car. Now, as you can see, our car, it's got the SS style hood on it with the vents up on top. Again, all of that looks good. The hood fits well. We'll see that once we get around to the very front of the car. Now on our car, as I mentioned, we do have the wheel lip moldings here too. Those are in nice shape, nice and polished up there, straight, no dents or dings in any of that. Wheels and tires on this car, a little bit difference here front to back. We've got the 15.7s up front, 15.10s out on the back of that car. Yes, they are the steel rally wheels with the trim rings and the center caps. And then on the front for tires, we've got 235/60 R15s. Back here on the rear, we've got 295/50 R15s. And yes, they do fit within this wheel well. So there's no rubbing on the frame, no rubbing on the wheel well. So everything's good there. As far as our fitment of our panels and so forth, you can see the gaps on the front of our door and the back of our door. Again, pretty uniform on the car here. All of our glass is in good shape. Quarter windows back here, the vent windows here too. Again, they're tinted. There's no chips or cracks in any of it. Even your bright work, your moldings here, those are all in good shape. The drip rail moldings too. Those are nicely polished and nice and straight. I always want to rub my fingers through that rain gutter just to make sure everything's smooth. Everything is, and even the paint on the roof looks to be in good shape too. Now we're going to go ahead and open up our door here. Take a quick look on the inside of our car. You can see it's got the all black interior. It's got the full bench up front with the flip down armrest there. It's kind of like a cloth upholstery there with the vinyl around the sides. It's got the factory dash and instrumentation, along with a couple add-on gauges there all along the A-pillar there. You've got the water temperature and an oil pressure gauge there, aftermarket. Got a sport style steering wheel with the Chevy emblem. It is column shift, and you also have an aftermarket Jensen AM/FM cassette player in there with some speakers back in the rear package tray. Now this car does have all the seat belts in it, front and rear, and as far as all of your seals and your weather stripping here, everything looks to be in good shape. There's no rips or tears or chunks out of any of it. The seals are all nice here, not dry rotted or anything. So again, these should all seal up very well from the outside element. We'll close our door up there. The door shuts nice and easy, and we'll continue our way now towards the back of the car. And as I said, we've already mentioned those wheel lip moldings, the wheels and tires. As we come to the rear of the car, again, this is just a typical rear section of your 68 Chevelle. The trunk lid itself, gaps and elevations are pretty good on it. When you look at the quarter panels and how it's adjusted, your rear glass, it is tinted also. All of your bright work around that window is in good shape also. Now down here on the tail panel, you've got your Chevelle trim down here, the Chevelle badging also. All of that looks to be really nice. Your taillight lenses and bezels, those look good too. Of course, you've got a chrome rear bumper that's in really nice shape. And then down below, you can see the box tip type exhaust tips there that has the exhaust exiting out the rear of the car. So all of that is nice. Now let's go ahead and open our trunk lid up. We'll try and find the right key here. There we go. So the trunk lock, obviously, as you just saw there, that works. The underside of the trunk itself painted the same as the exterior of the car, nice and shiny underneath here. You've got the little rubber bump stops here for your trunk lid also. All of your weather stripping and seals around the trunk, those are all in good shape, nice and soft too. Again, that's going to seal up really nice. As you can look inside here at the trunk, very nice trunk floor in this car. All the drain plugs are all intact, all nice and solid in here. Again, lightly painted and lightly dusted with trunk spatter paint. So it looks very nice inside here. Good and solid, good metal in here too. So let's go ahead and close this up. Okay, that shuts easy. Then we'll come around the passenger side. So the quarter panels on this car are very nice and straight. Sail panels, same thing here. Again, our glass on the passenger side too, just the same as on the driver's side. Very nice condition. The drip rail moldings and the rain gutters, all again exactly as I said on the other side. Smooth through the rain gutters and polished up and very straight rain gutter moldings. Now let's open up our door on this side just so you can get a look from both sides of the interior. Now what you'll see sitting on the seat there, that would be an original style owner's manual, and then it's also got the owner protection plan with the Protecto plate inside that book. So that would have been original when it came with the car from the factory. So you do get that. That'll come with the car. As I mentioned, the dash is all in good shape. No cracks in the dash pad itself. I've already gone over all the rest of the stuff. The radio, it does have the factory heater controls in it as well. And like I said, it's column shift with a few aftermarket gauges there. Your weather stripping here, along with your seal on the quarter window, again, all in good shape over on this side. Gaps and elevations on this side too, same as the other side. Everything lines up, all your body lines. Elevations are dead on with quarters and front fenders. And again, your gaps are all very uniform. It does have both mirrors too, both driver and passenger side chrome mirrors, and the chrome on those are in all great shape. Now we come around to the front of the vehicle. So this is your 68 Chevelle front end, the 68 Chevelle front grille. That's all in good shape. Again, all solid, all intact there with the Chevrolet badging up front here. You've got the chrome bumper down below here. Your headlights, those are your traditional seal beam units. Your highs and low beams, glass lenses, no chips or cracks in any of that. You can see the hood. Again, as I mentioned, this is a steel SS hood. It's got the dual scoops here with the vents back here at the back of the hood. Your windshield, it's in great shape. Again, it's got the tinting up at the top here. Kind of gradually fades away as it comes down the windshield. All of your trim and molding around the windshield is in great shape there too. Now let's go ahead and open up our hood. There we go. Just got to push in extra far to get that to come open. So this is the underside of your Chevelle hood. You can see it's painted the same as the exterior of the car. You've got all of the hood insulation, the under hood insulation here. That's all intact too. Now, the engine compartment itself, it's been blacked out. A couple things to dress it up. They've got this, the radiator support here basically. It's painted the same color as the car. You've got the plastic shroud there. 6-blade clutch fan in this car also with the factory style radiator. Now as far as the motor goes, this is a 350 cubic inch small block Chevy. Now it is not the original motor for this car, but 350 Chevy power, easy to build, cheap to build too. So again, this is going to be a good reliable motor for you as well. You notice it's got an Edelbrock air cleaner with matching valve covers on it to give it that old school kind of classic look underneath the hood. As far as a carburetor, it's an Edelbrock 1406 series carb with the Holley Street Dominator aluminum intake on there as well. As far as your heater lines and your radiator hoses, they've got this blue covering on them just to kind of dress things up underneath here. It's got long tube headers with dual exhausts on it too. As we mentioned, they exit all the way out the rear of the car. We've got power steering and power brakes. Now this car has disc brakes all the way around it, so stopping is not going to be a problem for this car. This car is going to stop great. And with the power steering, it's going to steer great too. Now as far as ignition, it's been slightly upgraded too from what stock would be. It does have an HEI distributor on it. It does have upgraded Excel 8mm plug wires on it to help get a little better spark to those plugs there. And like I said, with the intake, the carburetor, and the headers, it's all going to get the fuel and air better, and it's going to breathe better with those headers. As far as that goes, that's pretty much everything underneath the hood. Now as far as the transmission on this car, we've got a turbo 350 transmission in it. It's got a 10-bolt rear end, 323 gear ratio in it as well, so that's going to get you going down the street pretty good. You'll be able to cruise around in this car, no problem whatsoever. So that's it for our Chevelle around the outside. We've looked inside the interior, inside the trunk, and under the hood. Now we're going to go ahead and get this on our lift, take you through the underside of the car, and then finally we'll fire that 350 motor up, let you hear what that sounds like. Alright, so I'm underneath our 1968 Chevy Chevelle here, so we're going to go through the underside as we do with all of our vehicles. Starting from front, working our way to the back, going over steering, suspension, driveline, frame, floors, wheels, tires, brakes, you name it. We're going to go through it here for you right now, folks, and tell you exactly what we're looking at underneath here. So starting at the front, as I said, we're going to go over that steering and suspension. So with the suspension, you've got pretty much your stock suspension. You got your stock upper and lower control arms. Ball joints in both of those on both sides look to be in good shape. And we do have the sway bar up front too. So sway bar bushings at the frame look good. Sway bar end link bushings also look very good on this car as well. As far as the steering, it is a power steering car. We've got disc brakes on the front, drum brakes out on the rear of the car. Car stops really well. Now as far as wheels and tires, I'll just mention that real quick since we're kind of going across that stuff right now. We've got Daytona or Dayton Daytona SR tires. They are 235 60 15s on the front, 295 60 15s out on the back. Yes, it is a nice wide tire back there, and it does fit between the frame and your wheel wells back there. It fills it up nicely. It actually looks really good. And as far as the wheels go, these are 15.7s up front, 15.10s on the back. These are like your factory style rally wheels with the centers and the trim rings. So nice looking set of wheels and tires on the car. Stock front cross member, doesn't look like it's ever been hit on anything. Nice and straight up here. As far as our drive line now, we do have a 350 motor here. Now it is not the original numbers match motor, but it is a 350 cubic inch small block motor. We've got a turbo 350 automatic transmission. You can see a chrome oil pan on the motor and a chrome flywheel cover on here too. So they've got that dressed up a little bit underneath here. As far as the pan on the motor and the transmission go, nice and dry. I don't see any leaks or drips whatsoever around any of those items. As we work our way back a little further here, we've got our transmission cross member. That's in good shape. The mount for it here underneath the tail shaft of the transmission, that's in good condition too. Of course, the seal at the back of the transmission, that is nice and dry also. I don't see any leaks there either. Now as we come back, you can see we've got our drive shaft here. It is a balanced drive shaft, so that'll help eliminate a lot of the vibration out of your drivetrain. And then finally finishing up the drive line with the 10 bolt rear end, 10 bolt GM rear end. Not a posi unit. It does have a 323 gear in it though. So again, that's going to be a good gear for, you know, getting you up, driving around and so forth. As I look back here though, I'm going to take back something I said there as far as the brakes go. Looks like we've got disc brakes back here on the rear of the car too. So scratch the drum brakes. It is disc brakes out here on the back as well as the front. So just want to make that correction. Now as far as the exhaust system, that's the next thing you can kind of easily see here. We've got long tube headers here working their way into dual exhaust all the way back. These are Dynamax mufflers, probably like a Dynamax turbo muffler here. Of course we've got tailpipes, all the correct hangers and everything up over top of the rear end, and then they exit out the back of the car here. Nice set of like slash cut box tips back here on this car, so that looks very nice. The fuel tank gets in good shape. All the hangers, your straps, your hardware there, all of that is in really good condition too on this car. Now as far as the frame and the floors go on this car, the frame, again, Chevelles are a full frame car, so a nice rigid car. The frame itself is in excellent condition, nice straight rails all the way back, front to back on this car. The floors too, I don't see any patching at all on these floors. The floors, you can tell, are all the correct style metal. You can see all the stamping lines, all of the bracing along the floor. So the floors look really, really good on this car. Brake lines and fuel lines are run along the sides of the frame here, tucked away nicely and out of the way. And it does have the emergency brake all hooked up on it. So front cables, intermediate cables, frame hooks, all the way back to your rear cables back here going into your brakes in the rear. So all of that good condition on this car. So that's primarily everything for underneath this car. Like I said, it's actually really, really nice underneath here. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and lower this down off of the lift here. We're going to go underneath the hood next, fire this 350 up, let you hear what that motor sounds like with these Dynamax mufflers.